Less than an hour ago, former President Donald Trump made his first public appearance since an attempted assassination over the weekend with a bandage on his ear, coming out to a standing ovation at the RNC convention hours after he formally clinched the Republican nomination. This afternoon, Trump also announced Ohio Senator J.D. Vance will be his running mate after months of speculation. That assassination attempt on the former president 2 days ago is casting a shadow on this RNC. Jennifer Hoff has a look at whether it could affect the election and has more on Vance's political background.
As investigators continue looking into the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump, the political divide only continues to grow.
Is the country more polarized now than ever?
Yes. Now, partisan polarization has been going on for decades. It's not new, but it is heightened and extreme.
University of Minnesota political science professor Catherine Pearson says the shooting also energized the Republican Party around its now newest presidential nominee.
J.D. Vance for the office of Vice President of the United States of America.
Named today at the start of its national convention. About the same time, two major political analysts downgraded President Joe Biden's chances of winning Minnesota, despite the state voting blue the last 50 years.
You know, the best use of polls is not to predict election outcomes. It's to get a sense of where things are at a particular moment in time.
Both sides calling for unity recently, while Trump also announced his vice presidential pick. An Ohio Senator, J.D. Vance, grew up poor, served in the military, eventually graduating from Yale Law School, and at one point also heavily criticized Trump.
Because I can't stomach Trump, I think that he's noxious and is leading the white working class to a very dark place.
Trump-backed Republican J.D. Vance won a highly competitive race.
Changing his tune right before being first elected 2 years ago.
He had to have a completely different posture toward Trump, and he had to explain it. I think that the voters of Ohio, at least especially Republicans, took him as, pretty genuine.
Longtime Ohio newspaper reporter Nick Evans says Vance could very well carry on Trump's legacy and maybe even invite more moderate Republicans along the way.
I think they're making a bet on him being able to potentially reach out to folks who are, sitting in the middle.
Evans reporting there also details how Vance's set of beliefs now really aligns closely with Trump, from opposing aid to Ukraine to denying the 2020 election results. In response, President Biden released a statement today, writing in part that over the next 3.5 months, we will spend every single day making the case between the two starkly contrasting visions Americans will choose between at the ballot box this November. All that while the Minnesota DFL wrote that Trump doubled down on far-right extremism by picking Vance. So certainly a lot to be covering here in the weeks and months ahead, Lauren.